This is Van Buren Street 2 hours after it happened. Something like 7,000 people live on Van Buren Street. They get born here, marry, die, and once in a while, as in this case, they get murdered. Mrs. O'Kelly, the landlady, took the box of flowers from the delivery man at about 4:30 in the afternoon. She tried to see through the envelope, gave up, took them along to the apartment.
Mrs. Murphy! Mrs. Murphy, will you look what just came? Are you home, Mrs. Murphy? Dear Father in heaven.
Victor Hamilton? Well, what was he doing in the apartment? Oh, an appliance salesman. No, handle it your own way, just like any other case. Hello, Irish. Looks like we'll be on our way. I'll give us about 20 minutes.
You're a hard man, Jock. They found me in a candy store in the West End.
Yeah, I know.
Well?
What were you doing in a candy store?
First anniversary.
Oh.
Mary makes a big deal out of it. All women do, I guess.
Yeah. Irish, I've got a tough job here.
What's the matter?
Remember the Felton case?
Felton.
The kid down at the city hall, the one with the wife who...
2nd Avenue.
Yeah. You were the one that had to tell him.
What's eating you? Well, let's have it.
We've got another Felton case, it looks like. I gotta break the news.
Who's the guy?
Irish, I don't know how else to do it. If I could make it easy for you, I would, but...
Easy for me.
The homicide details at your apartment right now.
Mary?
Yes. With some guy named Victor Hamilton. He's got a knife stuck in his back.
You're crazy.
You think I'd kid you about it? It's your wife, all right. The landlady found them about an hour ago. He's dead and she's drunk.
Mary, honey, it's me, Irish.
Irish.
That's the girl.
You didn't tell me we'd have company. Must have been asleep.
Take it easy.
Oh, I'm dizzy, Irish. I don't feel right. What's the matter with me?
Come on, open your eyes. Tell me about it. What happened here?
My head
Leave us alone, will you?
You know better than that.
Mary, what was that man doing here?
Man?
Hamilton.
Hamilton? Oh, we don't know any Hamiltons, Irish.
The tall man with the mustache.
Oh, you mean the vacuum cleaner man. Oh, he came yesterday, and I ordered one. We needed a vacuum cleaner, remember?
And he came back today.
He brought it. Didn't he?
What about the whiskey?
Whiskey? I did... Whiskey? What happened? Irish, I didn't drink any whiskey. What happened to me? Where's the vacuum cleaner man? Tell me.
And what about the set of knives in the kitchen? Did you use a chef's knife to... well, for anything?
Knife?
Yes, the knife in the kitchen, Mrs. Murphy.
In the rack by the sink. Did you use that chef's knife?
The knife?
Did you use it?
No. Oh.
We got trouble. Somebody used it on Hamilton. He's dead.
Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish.
I'd like to talk to you, Irish.
Don't leave me, darling.
I'll be right back.
How long did you know her before you married her?
About a month. You mean how well do I know her?
In 13 months, you can still get surprises.
She doesn't go around sticking knives into vacuum cleaner salesmen. You know her that well yourself.
There was no vacuum cleaner in the apartment. No order book, nothing.
So what?
Did she ever meet this vacuum cleaner guy before today?
He was here yesterday.
Before that?
No.
How do you know?
She told me.
Oh, that isn't evidence either.
Now, wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute. What's her background? Her family, her life up to 13 months ago?
I don't know. I don't have to know. I married her.
Her prints are on that knife. Suppose you ran into that in a stabbing at 2nd Avenue. How would you figure it?
Well, this isn't 2nd Avenue. She didn't kill him. Somebody slugged her. There's a bruise on her head. You saw it yourself.
The M.E. figures she clipped her head on the edge of the table when she passed out.
He's crazy.
Irish, the boys have been around a lot in the last 2 hours. They came up empty. Nobody saw a car. Nobody saw a stranger go in or out of the building. Everybody saw Hamilton. His neighbors in his rooming house say he's a meek, little, inoffensive guy who hasn't got an enemy in the world.
So that makes her guilty.
There's a man in death row right now you put there unless... Irish, you know how I feel about this personally, but I've got to treat it like any other case. You know that.
Sure.
Now, I put Al in charge of it. Keep out of his hair. Don't forget, you're not a police officer in this case.
Sure. Just the husband of the suspect.
And Irish, you better look up a good lawyer.
I'm going to leave you alone. There'll be a man on the front door, and you know the rules.
Thanks, Al. How you doing?
Better, I guess. I don't know what to do. Must think
They've got rules. It's like a game on a big checkerboard. Fill in the squares nice and neat. Pretty soon it makes a picture for you. We call it the system.
The system. You used to tell me what a fine thing it was. How do you start filling in the squares?
Start with something you know for sure.
Like what?
You didn't do it. No, someone else did. That's more than they know.
Irish.
So you start with something you know for sure. If she didn't, someone else did. Slugged her, killed Hamilton, poured whiskey down her throat. And you do that. Have to check. Of course you can do that, because someone did. She said she didn't drink anything. You believe her. And that's that. If she didn't, someone else did. Say it again, 1,000 times. Why'd he kill Hamilton? A vacuum cleaner has disappeared, so it must have been to get the vacuum cleaner. But why steal a vacuum cleaner? Mary? Mary. Give me.
Maybe they're right. Maybe I did it.
Mary.
I had the knife in my hand. I had to feel it again to be sure. I was here. I took the knife down.
You came here to get it?
Don't know.
Come on. Let's take this one step at a time. I'm Hamilton. I've come to the door with a vacuum cleaner. I've rung, you've let me in. I'm right here with the vacuum cleaner. What do? You go to the kitchen for the checkbook?
No, he plugged it in.
Good.
He said it was an old model, but reconditioned. He had some things to show me about it.
Okay, it's plugged in. Now, I show you how it works.
It doesn't work.
Huh?
That's it. He growled and choked. It wouldn't work. He didn't know what was wrong. He went out to get another machine.
All right. Now, I'm going to get another machine. Now what? You wait here?
I went back to the kitchen.
Okay. Now, it's 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Forget me. Think. What are you doing?
I was chopping chives.
What for?
The cheese dip. I was making cheese dip for tonight. I mean last night.
The anniversary.
I was going to surprise you. Cocktails and everything.
That's where the whiskey came from.
It was right there.
This is important now. Forget I'm here. It's 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. You're fixing chives. That's how it happened. Someone came in and slugged you from behind.
The next thing I knew, you were here.
You know something?
What?
I'm still here.
There's no door-to-door selling in this company, you understand. Our men have bona fide lists of prospects.
Surefire?
Close to it. The salesman arrives, goes through his routine demonstration, scatters a handful of white lint over the carpet, starts the machine. Once the customer sees what our machine can do, there's very little selling required. Oh, here's Hamilton's card for yesterday.
What's the star mean?
Demonstrations?
How about the check mark?
Oh, got me. Monsieur, what's this check mark on Hamilton's card?
I did that yesterday, I guess. Someone called, wanted to know why Mr. Hamilton hadn't shown up for a demonstration.
What time was this?
Oh, gee, let me think.
I don't remember this, monsieur.
You were out to lunch.
What time do you go to lunch?
1:30.
That's right. It must have been about 2 o'clock.
Who was it?
Well, he didn't say. He wanted me to tell him where Mr. Hamilton would be about then, so I just guessed. You usually figure about 15 minutes to a call, so I gave him a couple of addresses, the ones I checked.
I'll look up the names for you.
You don't need to. This is the one Hamilton was killed in. The man who wanted to know where Hamilton would be. What did his voice sound like?
I couldn't tell. I could hardly understand him. The phonograph or radio was playing so loud. Piano music. Long hair stuff, you know. Sorry, I can't tell you any more.
You did fine. I'll return this when I'm through, thanks. How do you do? It's police. We're checking on a man tried to sell you a vacuum cleaner yesterday. We'd like to know what he said, what he did, anything you could remember about him. You start walking. You ask questions. You fill in the squares. You watch their faces, waiting for one who thinks a little too long before answering, talks a little too carefully, remembers more than he said. You listen to what's going on inside the house. Squalling kids, television, washing machines, arguments. I'd done it 100 times before, but this time it was different. This time it was to prove that someone was innocent. Now I was on the other side of the fence, on the side of the suspect. And I knew how it felt.
You have to lean on that, Bill? My aunt's very ill.
I'm sorry. We're checking on a fella came by here yesterday selling vacuum cleaners. Got himself killed. We look into things like that.
Oh.
Whose house is this, please?
My aunt's.
You say she's ill. Did you talk to the salesman?
Yeah.
Did he give it a demonstration?
No, it was a mistake. He had his house numbers transposed or something. And we have a cleaning service. No need for a vacuum cleaner. I told him that, and he went away.
I see. Well, thanks a lot. Does your aunt play the piano?
Oh, no. Phonograph. She likes music. It helps to calm her.
You wouldn't like to change your story about that demonstration, would you? If you like, I'll check the neighbors. People see things. We'll find someone who saw him.
I just didn't want you coming in. She's had another spell. She's in a bad way.
And he did demonstrate the machine.
Well, well,
Come on, open up.
This is my aunt, Mrs. Breck. Aunt Cecilia. This man wants to talk to you about the vacuum cleaner salesman who was here yesterday. Be a good girl and answer him.
Mrs. Breck, I don't want to disturb you, but... Mrs. Breck. Can she talk?
Sometimes. He's had a stroke, partly paralyzed.
How long has she been this way?
Almost 10 years now, ever since my Uncle John died.
John Breck. Where have I heard of him?
Big railroad man. Used to have a lot of money. It's all gone now.
What happened to the picture?
What picture?
The one that used to hang there. Did you sell it?
Well, medical bills have to be paid, you know.
That what happened to most of the furniture?
Some of it. She's been living off of possessions for some time now.
You didn't let the man finish demonstrating his vacuum cleaner.
I'm sorry, officer. But I'm going to have to ask you to leave. My aunt's very ill.
Sure. And you're very devoted to her. Thanks very much, Mr. Breck.
Now listen, Irish. Remember what I told you about interfering in this case?
Jock, just do me one favor, will you? John Breck died about 10 years ago. What should I remember about John Breck?
Now look here. Well, hang on a minute. Get me R&I.
Tell her to hurry, will you? I'm in a drugstore opposite the house. He might lay him out of there any minute.
Who might?
Old Mrs. Breck's nephew. He's been selling everything she's got right under her nose. I'll bet when that vacuum cleaner salesman barged in, it was the first friendly face she'd seen. Huh? Okay, let's have it.
Kimberly, the star of Kimberly. A diamond Breck bought for his wife just before the crash. It was stolen about 12 years ago, and we helped him get it back. You probably saw the file.
Thanks, Jock. Thanks a lot. Mrs. Breck, I'm a police officer. I'm sorry about breaking in, but we're worried about you. There'll be a matron up here right away. The Kimberly diamond. Do you still have it, Mrs. Breck? Just as I thought. Your nephew took it. He didn't take it? When the man was demonstrating the vacuum cleaner, you dropped it in front of the machine so your nephew could never get it. After the salesman had gone, he found out about it. He was very angry. He phoned to find out where the man would be. And then he went after the vacuum cleaner with the diamond in it. He brought the vacuum cleaner back, tore it open, and found the diamond. He didn't find the diamond? I was right up till there. This is the vacuum cleaner he brought back. There was no diamond in it. I'd been right up to there. The next step was obvious. Breck, angry and desperate, had sneaked in the back door of the apartment, panicked at finding Mary in the kitchen, had knocked her out. Hamilton had come running in and he'd stabbed him. But why hadn't he found the diamond in the vacuum? Wait a minute, wait a minute. What was it Mary had said?
It wouldn't work. He didn't know what was wrong. He went out to get another machine.
That was it. There were two vacuums, and Breck had stolen the wrong one.
Mr. Richards at the appliance company asked me to straighten this out. I hope you'll bear with me.
Please talk to my husband.
This will only take a minute. Now, there were two machines checked out to Mr. Hamilton, but only one was recovered.
I don't know anything about it.
I'm only trying to do it.
I know it's your job, but you'll have to excuse me.
Mrs. Murphy,
Not
please.
now, I'm tired.
All right, I'll be honest with you, Mrs. Murphy. If I don't get that machine, Mr. Richards is going to discharge me. I'll lose my job. Now, please, try to remember. Were there ever two machines?
Two machines? I never even saw one. I told your pals on the force that I saw no vacuum in your apartment when I went in. My eyes were too full of that dreadful sight before me.
Are you positive?
The only vacuum I've seen in the past 2 days is the one the janitor left in the corridor. At least I thought it was the janitor's.
Where did you put it?
In his closet. Such a fuss over a vacuum cleaner. The man from the appliance company was here a few minutes ago. He was terribly upset.
Man from the appliance company?
Yes.
There were two machines. Now, where's the other one?
I told you, I don't know.
You must know. Now, wait a minute. No, you don't. No, you don't. Now, look, Mrs. Murphy, I've got to get that machine. You're going to tell me where it is. Do you understand?
I don't know.
What was that?
I locked it when I came in. Hello, sweetheart. You all right?
Sure, Irish.
You know something? It'll be a day late, but we're gonna have that anniversary party after all.